all this stuff coming from all sides. This person wants this person wants that, this thing, that thing. Oh my goodness, too much pressure. Now on to the intro.
Currently rocking in the school of life. He is here talking about stuff and whatever's going on in his brain. You know it is 100% Bridget!
All right, here I am. It's me talking about something. I hope you guys had a good week. I've had a pretty good week. Well, I don't know. Maybe I haven't had a very good week. I got some leaks under my house. All kinds of stuff is going on. And so today I'm going to talk about pressure, and maybe it might be good for you to have some pressure in your life or to have something that causes you to go through breakthrough. So I apologize for my mic today. It's actually not my mic. My voice is a little out of whack because of the COVID. I actually tested positive, but that's okay. I'll clean my mic right after this. So if you're listening for the first time, make sure to go to smash that like button and hit the subscribe button and hammer the bell, whatever kind of adjectives I can throw on top of that. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure to like and share. That'd be fantastic. And and of course, if you're listening to me on audio, thank you so much. I'm available on wherever all podcasts are. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. And of course, like I just said a couple seconds ago, wherever a podcast is, I am probably there. So make sure to check me out wherever I'm located. So let's do this. Pressure. Too much pressure. Too much pressure. Oh, wait. That's the Selector. I can't sing that. If you know who that is, you're a rock star. So I'm going to read this out of James. And I'm reading it out of the Passion Translation. And I know we've probably heard this a million times, having to do with, what's the word I'm looking for? Patience is usually the word that we hear in this, is that through many trials we will gain patience. But I want to read out of the Passion Translation because, of course, it says it so much differently. It practically preaches itself. So this is James chapter 1, verses 2. Starting in verse 2, my fellow believers, when it seems as though you are facing nothing but difficulties, see it as an invaluable opportunity to experience the greatest joy that you can. For you know that when your faith is tested, it stirs up in you the power of endurance. And then, as your endurance grows even stronger, it will release perfection into every part of your being until there is nothing missing and nothing lacking. So really, let's take a look at this. It uses the term endurance, but here's the first part. See it as an invaluable opportunity to experience the greatest joy when you fall into various trials, when your faith is tested. You know what? When we struggle, it's actually, depending on how we struggle and our response in that struggle, is really going to tell you who you are in the future. I'm going to tell you about a time in my life. I lost my car. We had one van that was like run down. I was working at a place. I think I made $600 a month. And this was like 2009, 2010 kind of time frame. I was making very little money. I was losing everything, almost lost my house, but we never ever gave up. And we never ever stopped believing that God was going to take care of all the stuff that we were in the process of losing. I mean, it was literally like a country song being sung backwards. Where we lost everything and then we started getting everything back. So I'll tell you, I had a real nice car. My wife had a car. I had a motorcycle, because I love motorcycles. I actually rode a Honda back then. Now I ride a Harley. But this is what happened is in that time frame, I mean, I gave my truck back to the people that I was buying it from. I mean, we were losing stuff left and right. It was a very, very difficult time. But we never, ever stopped, even though the pressure that we were under to pay bills and do all that kind of stuff, we never actually stopped believing that God was going to take care of us. We always knew that no matter what we did, God is always there in the background. And now I have my truck. I have a truck and my wife has a car. paid off, by the way. I'm riding a Harley now. I have to fix a leak under my house because that just bursted. And so that actually happened just before I started all this tonight. So, I mean, there's stuff that always happens in life, but there's always that endurance that says it's going to come back to you. So, like when I say I was like a country song sung backwards, I got my truck back, got my car back going. Now, watch this. So, it produces a place that you can learn to be in called endurance. Now, pressure does interesting things in our lives. When we have a lot of things happening, we got to think about this, we got to think about that. We have all these things that are going on, whether it's difficult times, whether it's great times, no matter what kind of time frame it is, that pressure of things starting to happen, depending on your response to that, is you can go and die, and explode. Or you can take that pressure, learn from that pressure, understand that pressure, and realize that it's going to grow and become endurance in the long run. So the next time these things happen, you start to understand why they're happening to you and that you can get through them because God's already taken you through that thing at another time. Now here's verse 4 or verse 3. So you know that when your faith is tested, it stirs up in you the power of endurance. So this testing, these things that are going on, it actually stirs up in you, or it should stir up in you, the idea that I can get through this. No matter what's going on, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. God's got my back. I'm going to make this. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to have the endurance to travel through the process of whatever my pressure is or whatever my issue is. And then verse 4, then as your endurance grows even stronger, so the more these kinds of things happen, you get better and better and better at doing it. And this is what I think is interesting is how things naturally happen in the world. So new wine, now we've heard the terminology, we got to get the new wine, is made from crushed grapes. You don't get wine without pressing the grape, without crushing the grape. You don't get that fresh, great wine without doing that. A diamond is produced from pressure. So the earth, way down deep down inside the earth, I actually looked this up. I don't remember all the miles and all that stuff, but way down deep inside the earth, not coal, but the earth starts to press itself together and then a diamond is formed. And what's cool about a diamond is that underneath all that pressure, you get a raw diamond, which is just basically it looks like a chunk of glass, and it's not perfected until after somebody comes and cuts it up into the proper shape. So I think it's kind of interesting that the pressure creates the diamond and then a creator creates the facets. Look at olive oil. Do you use olive oil for your cooking? Well, guess what? Pressed. You have to take that olive and press it in order to get the oil out of it. And if you ever planted a seed, I don't know, maybe when you were 5 or 6 years old, you planted a seed inside the glass and you can't even find the shell of that seed anymore because it is totally destroyed in order to see growth happen. These are the kinds of things that pressure does for us. It actually it actually teaches you. It teaches you how to move to next level thinking. It teaches you how to handle things so that you can get through them the next time. It actually builds your endurance so that you can grow stronger. And I think it's interesting that, one translation says patience. Sometimes we run into things in our lives and we're like, man, I don't even know what to do. You don't have the patience to get through it. So you cut yourself short or you cause another issue because you don't have the patience to get through it. Like tonight, I have to live without water until we can fix this leak in the daytime. I got to go buy some parts. And so you have to, I'm got that sitting in the back of my head thinking about that. I'm going to probably have a hard time sleeping, but I know that tomorrow morning I'm going to get up. I have the finances available that maybe say 15 years ago I didn't, and I'd be even more of a struggle. But now, over time and pressure and learning and pain, I've learned how to deal with things as they come. So now we have a contingency fund. Those kinds of things help you later on in life when you realize, hey, I got this set aside specifically for these kinds of situations because I've learned from it. I've now gained the endurance, or because I've had the pressure before, I've learned from that and now I can grow from it. The process of our breakthrough may be rough, it may be uncomfortable, but it produces the new strength. It produces the new growth. It produces the fresh anointing. It produces that fresh wine in your life. Don't be afraid of pressure. Learn through it, adjust, and see your strength grow, see your endurance grow, and see your anointing flow. Right on, right on.